Okay, here we go. You are
Okay.
live.
So,
All right,
okay.
folks, here we go.
So,
Folks,
Keith,
we got
this,
Stan from Atkinson
right,
here. Introduce yourself.
right on. Stanley Taylor. Uh, I became of age on Atkinson Avenue in Inglewood, California. I'm pretty sure you guys know the geography is 109th between Atkinson between 109th and Ardith. So, what I'd like to do is talk about not just Atkinson boys, because in my mind there was more to it than that. You know, it
All
was
right.
it was Atkinson, it was Atkinson Avenue to me. But yeah, Atkinson boys, we did group together for defense, right? But
Uh,
most of it, the vast majority of it was having fun. You know, just people hanging out and just, smoking dope and drinking wine and talking shit, just having fun, going
yeah.
to parties and all that whatnot. To me, that was the biggest part of Atkinson.
Mm,
Now, um, the thing is I saw it as, looking back, I didn't understand what I was seeing back then, but I do understand it now. What it was a tribe, and I think it was a place where people who felt that they didn't fit in somewhere else could go, and have fun with very little judgment, because you could go to elementary school and junior high. Then when you get into high school, the people you went to elementary school with, you'd say hello and they wouldn't even acknowledge your existence. And if you felt that way, come on over to Atkinson, man. Everybody's welcome.
all
You'll
right.
find what you're looking for. If you're looking for camaraderie, folks to hang out with, you found it. If you're looking for trouble, you found it. So, you know,
You
you'll
found
find
that
what
too.
you look. Yeah, you found that. You can find that too. Come on over. You looking for trouble? We're here. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you my story. We were the first Black family on Atkinson Avenue,
Okay.
and when our parents told us we was moving, I was so relieved because we had to deal with them essays every day walking home from school. We lived in the Echo Park area of LA. And
Okay.
what they would do was harass the Catholic school people walking. We went to Catholic school, Our Lady of Loretta. And I had to get into it with one of them kids because they did something to my sister, right? So it was, I think, two times in my life I kind of blanked out. And so I blanked out. He did something to my sister, went up to her, pulled the pocket off her shirt like that. And I just went bananas on his ass, right? So the next thing I knew, it just happened in front of a drugstore. The pharmacist is pulling me off of him, right? And he's like, "You gotta get out of here, kids," shit like that.
Mm,
But from that day on, his older brother was looking for me. He was white fence. And I'm like, oh my
okay.
gosh, we had to walk a different way from home from school every day. So moving to Inglewood to me was the best day of my life. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to go through this shit no more. So when we did move there, I had my first experience with racism. We used to play with these little kids down the street. And one day my dad drove up and, he, like that. We know that means go home.
Okay.
My dad didn't say much, but he just pointed down the street. We knew that to mean go home. So the next day we go over there to play. We played board games and Foursquare, shit like that. And they wouldn't answer the door. And so we're knocking. Hey, Renee, come on, play. Well, we can't play with you no more. And I'm like, why not? They said, because you're niggers. And I'm like, well, so what? I'm not really sure
Oh
what
boy.
that meant because I never experienced racism before. So Stephen,
Okay.
I'm like, well, I don't care. Stephen just started busting crying because Stephen's sensitive. My brother Stephen, very sensitive. and he just busted out crying. I didn't care because I would rather go to Vicky's house to practice kissing anyway. Because she and I made she and I made a pact. It was like, you get married? Yeah. You know how to kiss? No. I said, well, maybe we should practice. I'm like, okay. Never came to busting slob or nothing like that. Little 10, 11-year-old like on the lip, kind of putting the head like that and shit. But I would rather do that than to play with this other person. But I had gotten talked into doing that. So that was my first experience with racism. And so I was on, my radar was up after that. I'm like, because you're niggers. Not knowing my parents had moved to LA because of that, because my mom looks like she's white. And back then, it was against the law for white people to marry white people, black people in Alabama. That was, you go to jail for that. So they moved to LA to raise the family. So I'm gonna talk to each house, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at Bobby Dingle's house. And you say you did know Bobby Dingle, huh? Robert Dingle?
Yeah, I played with Bobby Dingle. I played with him in a band with some guys we used to practice. Me, Blackbird McKnight, and Bruce Trumpet. We a lot of Morningside was full of musicians. So we all, man, we linked up, and anybody in the neighborhood that could play an instrument, we played.
Wow, your audio's going in and out, but I'm going to go ahead and continue. So I know Bobby, he OD'd, right? He was the first of us to go, and years later, when I saw people addicted to heroin coming in from Vietnam, I said, well, that's the shit that was on Bobby's arm, right? The tracks. I said, I didn't know what that was, but anyway. So on to the next house. To mention Keith McConnell, and he had a relative that would sit out on their front porch, and he would play the sax, right? And I'm like, who is this guy making all that goddamn noise with that saxophone? Years later, that guy, it was either Hubert Laws or Ronnie Laws. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's Keith McConnell's cousin, man. I'm like, get the F out of here, right? Had no clue. Well, I didn't appreciate jazz at that time. I was too young to do so. But anyway, over to the Twins. They had Tassie and Terry. Valanda lived there. Regina lived there. And their little brother, Jeffrey. And they had a cousin, Dirt Don. You knew him, right?
Oh yeah, I knew Don. Don was actually hung out with a friend of mine named Sean Vest. When he was going to Crenshaw.
Yeah.
And they had started a little clique at Crenshaw called the AC. Yeah. Back in the day.
I heard of that AC.
So yeah, I knew Donald Francis. Yeah.
Yeah. But he was murdered. And
Dirty Don and Vest started at Crenshaw High School. Yeah.
Yeah, but did that clique have anything to do with his murder, or do you know? Because I think after high school,
it may have, because there was a lot of rolling 60s going to Crenshaw.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a possibility. It's a real good possibility.
Okay. Yeah. I do know that before his funeral, I bought these big, ginormous aviator glasses, right? So covering my face like this, because I didn't want nobody to see me cry. Didn't work.
Okay.
She was screaming down my face, man. I'm like, I don't think nobody cared, man. They didn't judge and nothing like that. But that's where some of this Atkinson Boys stuff come in, because we were sitting in front of Pogie's house under a lamppost, And this dude drive up. It was metallic green. I think it was 65 Riviera. And he had an ace deuce in the back. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go, right? I said, Stephen, where the short dog?
Mm-hmm.
And he go, it's not here. I don't know where it is. I'm like, oh, shit. He said, you ain't got nothing? He go, nope, ain't nobody got nothing. So dude was like, he said to me, come here. Stephen, dude, don't go over there, man. Don't go over there. I said, fuck that. So I went over there thinking, I'm going to get blasted. I don't know what the hell was on my mind. Why did I walk across that street? Only God knows. But anyway, he's like, you know Regina? And I'm like, yeah. See, he was there. He was either related to her or he was, he wanted to get with her, right? He said, well, I'm here for Regina. And I'm like, and he goes, are we cool? And I'm like, yeah, we're cool. So he wasn't looking for trouble, right? He just came to try to get next to somebody. And it's like, it was cool. But that was, I think he, out of respect, right? He wanted to make sure everybody was okay with him being there. I think that was the catalyst of all that. So then I'm gonna move down to my house, the Taylor house. It was Stephen, myself, my older brother Herbert, Michelle, my younger brother Larry. Now, Herbert, I didn't realize what was going on when we were really young, but he was gay, right? And all I know is he didn't want to do the stuff I wanted to do. I said, we got 5 people, we need one more for 3-on-3 touch, right? But he wanted to play with puppets and shit. And I'm like,
okay.
So I really didn't know.
Close to a motor.
Say again? Well, you're breaking up. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. So then it was my brother Stephen. Again, he was, I'm gonna say charismatic, right? Because most of the people that came on that block,
as though your video talking.
well, you're frozen. Is there any way I can?
It seems like your video was locking up for some reason.
Okay.
Is your phone connected to your Wi-Fi? The Wi-Fi connection
yes.
here.
My phone's going through my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is strong.
Okay.
But, so you still got the audio, right?
Oh yeah, I still hear you. I still hear you.
No. What I meant was everything I just said is on tape. Is that correct?
I'm not 100% sure because the screen was locking, and then it would come back on and it locked. So I'm not sure if it got all of it. I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
Say.
Well, I'm still gonna look.
Go ahead.
What's the last thing you heard?
Last thing I heard was you was talking about your brother, and then to something else.
Okay. Let me looks like things are smoothing out now. Let me go with Stephen. Like I said, he's real sensitive. I thought I'm real emotional. I believe charismatic because most of the people who came onto Atkinson met him first. So, that's the way he was. I was more of a quiet, kind of in the background type of person. I didn't really say much or do much. I just listened and watched. That's mostly what I did. There was comments from my family about that. Oh, that's Dan. Them still waters, they run deep. So, because I didn't say much, I just watched and listened. That's all. That's mostly what I did. Sometimes they'd have to kick me out because they knew what I was doing. Sometimes my grandma and my mom, when I come in, and it wasn't like, you get up from under old grown folks and stuff like that. They switched over to Creole, and they started talking Creole.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
wouldn't understand what the hell they're saying. So that's Herbert, that's Stephen, Michelle. We used to practice dancing with each other, me and Michelle, and we would make up steps, right? And so she go, yeah, you going to the party? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the party. She go, like, I'm gonna turn your ass out. I'm like, yeah, come in, just come on. So we get to the party. We would make up steps with Texas Hop, right? So we go to the party. We get to Texas Hop, and then she breaks out with a move that we did not practice. And I'm like, oh man. Yeah, I know what you about now. I know what you. So she would outdance me because she came up with this move, right? I'm like, I can't trust you no more. I love you and stuff, but you must. Yeah. So Larry, we didn't do that much with. So my dad, he died when I was really young. He was on Atkinson, but he died when I was really young. So then it was my mom, Mama T. And personally, I believe Mama T was the glue that held that block together, because it's like when you're in a family and they don't celebrate Thanksgiving or they ain't doing nothing for Christmas and you really don't have nowhere to go, you could come over to the block, right? And make yourself a plate, But my mom, I said, Mom, this is Mike, right? I said, oh, okay. Just don't be smoking none of that shit in my house. That's all he said. And you got to make your own plate. So it was like that.
Yeah.
It was that kind of house. The people, like I said, if they didn't fit in anywhere else or they had nowhere else to go, come on to our block, right? Everybody's welcome. There's food for everyone. 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We barbecue and stuff like that at the Taylor residence. But the reason I said she's the glue is because when she passed away, family and friends kind of like went like that, right? Because here's Christmas. What do I typically do? I go over to Mama T's house. Mama T ain't here no more. So got to find something else, right? But whatever you do find, it won't be on Atkinson. So that's the way.
So when did your mother?
Say again.
Mother passed away. What year did your mother pass away?
80. No. Bought the house in 98. About 97. 1997.
Oh, okay. All right. Pretty much mostly all grown and gone at that time.
Well, yeah. But the point, that's the point I'm making, is that even after we was grown and shit, we had our own families, we would come over there during the holidays. Everybody just come on back to the block, right? But then when she passed away, that stopped.
Oh, okay.
As adults, we stayed tight. But we went over there. We went over to my mother's house and congregated. But yeah. So and my sister had her little crew, Rosie Royce, and Yasmin Buck. I just spoke with Yasmin a couple years back. She said that they used to, at lunchtime, they jump in a car and they go down to the dairy on Imperial. And she said they would order something that they knew was out back, and they would reach out and open up the cooler and get a bottle of Boone's Farm. I don't know what it is with women in Boone's Farm, but I'm like, what? She goes, yeah. I said, I wish I had known that. I wouldn't have to go in the gyms and stick no shit down my pants, right? So it was Rosalind Branch and Yasmin and a couple other folks that was tight with my sister. I consider them,
Yeah.
you know, they was on the block all the time, and you know,
Right.
it's, I'm not going to say they're female, so they're not Atkinson boys, but you know, it's, to
No.
me, they
Yeah, I remember
they were.
Rosie. I remember Rosie and Royce. Rosie and
Oh,
Royce.
okay.
Deborah McDade and Linda McDade. They stayed
Uh-huh.
on 120th. They stayed in the Imperial Village area.
Yes,
on the
right
side
there
of-
in Imperial Village. Yeah, I've been over the house several times, but
yeah.
I considered them part of our tribe, I guess is my point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So then we moved down to the Broussard residence. And old Art was to me the ping pong champ. Right. The only person come close to him was Herschel Hood, but he used to embarrass everybody. Right. Because I'm struggling and you standing there. He stands there with a cigarette in his mouth. Don't barely even move. I'm like, how do you do that shit? But he was good at that. And, you know, there's OD. And then there's their brother Robert. He was loony as a tune. I do, you know, putting together some things that when the Broussards moved in, that was when, to me, the shooting started, right? Because people didn't used to kill each other. At least I didn't. I saw every now and again somebody got shot at a record hop up at Sportsman, but not like what it was turning into. And I guess old Robert thought he had to do something about it. So he went up to Mel's Sporting Goods with a sledgehammer. He went with a sledgehammer and knocked a hole in the back wall.
Yeah.
So he come back to Atkinson with an arsenal, right? Shotguns, pistols, rifles, all kind of shit in a duffel bag. And I'm like, damn. Yeah. And I used one of those shotguns. Me and Chucky went to a New Year's Eve party in the jungle, and he had a full-length leather coat. So I had the shotgun under the leather coat. And I said, okay, come midnight, I'm going to shoot off the shotgun. So come midnight, I go outside the party, let off 3, boom, 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 right? And so I said, okay, I got to hustle back up into the party. So the party was to the, you know, the jungle, how you got these apartment buildings? Well, the party was to the left. I went to the right and knocked on the door, and dude opened his front door, eyes got big, like, and then my eyes got big. I was at the wrong goddamn door. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I was supposed to go back to the party over there, and he was like, you know. So, what happened to those guns? The way my brother Stephen explained it to me was that they had a cousin, Ronnie, and he's like, man, you guys are gonna get in some shit that you cannot get out of with these guns. And he knew a deputy sheriff. And so they came up to the Broussard residence one day. The guns were in a duffel bag under the house. And so they took the duffel bag and they said, look, I got the guns. You know, it was like an anonymous tip where they were. And so, you know, it's not going to go any further than this.
Yeah.
So
you guys really were heading down a
we was going down.
return.
Oh my goodness, no return. That's exactly right. And I don't know what would have happened if we had kept them guns, man. Somebody would have got caught with something, and everybody, right, was gonna do some serious time. Yeah. So so let me cross the street over to there's a Chisholm family, Rusty, and I think his name was Michael. And when I first got there, they was cool. But as we started coming up, they kind of like pushed us away, kind of like when they saw the cigarettes and the 40 ounces and shit like that. We used to have some pretty intense touch football games, you know, lamppost to lamppost type of thing.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
I remember that. I remember playing tackle in the street.
Yeah, no, we did that up on 104th.
Tackle, man.
We did that shit up on 104th and Crenshaw. You know that field. We used to have some pretty good tackle
Oh yeah.
football games there, man. Yeah. But anyway, they kind of like that. I'm like, oh, it's cool, because they was from Chicago, and they was trying to keep out of that gang shit, right? Even though we were not a gang, if you saw like 8 heads under a street light passing around a 40 ounce, that's what's going to pop in your mind, you know? So
Yeah. It's
it
guilt by
wasn't,
association. You know what it means. It's guilt by.
yeah, but that's what it was. They didn't try to find out. I guess they just wasn't cool with all the smoking and drinking. That's probably what it was, right? So then I moved down to I'm gonna mention George. George was. You ever see that cartoon King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, George. What's his name? Hank Hill.
Hank Hill. Yeah.
He talked exactly. I swear to God, man. I said, that's fucking George when I first saw King of the Hill. He was the last white dude on the block, right? And one day he put his hands on OD. And yeah, I guess OD didn't really like that. So he went down and got that Chrome 32 and put a round in his window, in his bedroom window. And I'm like, man, stop. What the fuck, man? I mean, you going to bring the heat down out here? Like, I mean, he had to stand in front of my house to do it. Right? So just come down there, boom. I'm like, right? I'm just police down here, damn sure. They never did show up, but George put a for sale sign up the next day. And he was gone.
Y'all ran old George out of town.
He was gone, man. But
you gotta get out of town by Sunday.
Speaking to that, when I moved in, I went to Woodworth, and by the time I graduated Monroe, the whole block was all black. I'm gonna say 3-4 years. It was all black.
It was the same on my block. I live on 11th Avenue. 11th Avenue.
Right.
Right off Country. So
yeah,
it was like, the last two white people on my block coincidentally live to the left of me and to the right of me. The last two. The rest of the block was gone. It was all black.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But they were cool though. They were cool. As a matter of fact, I bought a car from one of the guys.
Yeah. 66
airline. Yeah. It was all cool. Inglewood changed.
It did. And George came out.
Let me ask you this. Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. In relationship to what you're saying as far as how the demographic changed. What was going on at mornings while you were there? Because when I was there, we were having when I got there in 71.
Well, I was going to mention that about Sharon Johnson. Well, when I was at Monroe, they were like, look out for a congregation. I'm like, what's that? Some Mexican dudes wear these little jackets with congregation written across the back. And they said, be careful of these guys, right? And so I saw one, I saw two, saw a couple. And I'm like, what? Why? I mean, they ain't nothing like the vatos that were from my old neighborhood, right? I looked at these dudes. To me, they were wannabes. But what I saw at Morningside was I saw change. I haven't got to the Johnson family yet, but there was a girl, Sharon Johnson, who organized a walkout. And I didn't know what was going on. I was under the bleachers having a smoke. And so people just come streaming out of the classroom. And I'm like, what's going on? And so, it's a walkout. And Sharon was right up there in front, right? Just she was Black Power to the core. She always had the latest Panther paper and stuff like that. And so what you're saying is you saw race riots?
Yeah. Good morning. As a matter of fact, they were trying to get me caught up Well, after the aftermath, they grabbed, a lot of people, man. And the only two people in the school behind that riot was Michael Christian and Kenny Robinson.
Okay, I didn't want to say no names, but they were going to be in my little monologue here. But since you already said it, okay.
Oh, yeah, they got kicked out because they said Michael Christian was the leader of the riot. That's what they said, but it really wasn't.
No,
he really wasn't. But he was the biggest since he was bound. Like they picked him, they singled, and since Kenny was his right hand man, and they was always together, they just said, "All right, so you guys got to go," and they sent them over to Hutno.
Oh, the continuation.
And when they got, they sent them to Hutno. When they got to Hutno, the boy high school found out, and they went down to Hutno to pay him a visit. And Michael Christian got shot, and they checked out of Hutno and went to Dorsey.
Oh, I did not know that story, huh? Yeah. Okay, that's interesting, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Where did I stop?
I ain't mentioning no names or anything, but yeah, I can mention the recipients. But you know what? It's really crazy because as we've talked video too, that we had to fight those white guys in the daytime, and then we had to fight the gangbangers coming from LA in the evening.
Right.
Daily. At least my daily was going on. If you went to I never really had no problems at the shopping center on Pier and Crenshaw, but you guys were around the corner from there. You probably got 100 stories about it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I wanted to say that, because like I said, when the Broussards moved in and when the shooting started, and old Mark Coleman, they shot him in the face. He was up there as Smith's Food came.
Is that right?
Yeah. He came walking down the street, a big old thing on his face. I mean, what happened to you, man? He said, somebody shot me, man. Good thing it was a 22.
Wow, I did not know that. Me and my class. Same. I didn't know that. Wow.
Well,
but anyway, back to your roll call, because we kind of getting off track.
Okay, so,
back to your roll call.
So then we had this guy Roger. So we had this guy Roger, right? He was challenged, and I'm ashamed to say this now, but we used to make fun of him, right? Because he'd be out. We used to wash his mama's Cadillac every other day, and I'm like, that boy gonna wash the paint right off the car. And so we would go, Roger, and he, obviously, if somebody did it to me, I would, right off the bat, they fucking with me, right? And fuck you, and just leave me alone. So I'm ashamed to say it, but we really did kind of mock him. And Roger, if you see this, I'm sorry, man. I was just a kid, man. So I'm going to move over to Freddie and Deborah Rowdry. Now, Freddie was cool as hell. He had this 54 Chevy. The trunk on that thing was huge. So we break up 4, maybe 5 pallets, and we go out to Playa del Rey, I think it's called Dockweiler right now, and have the bonfires, right? If you had a girl, she had some Boone's Farm, and, you guys be busting slob. And if you didn't have a girl, you had some marshmallows and some hot dogs. Big ass fun, right? I mean, those are some of the best times of my life, man. But so Deborah. Now, Deborah, in a roundabout kind of way, saved my life because she got my sister Michelle sober. And Michelle, in turn, helped me become sober. So, I haven't had any mind-altering substances August 9th, 1989. That's how long I've been sober.
All right.
Because the epidemic just took my ass and it would have killed me if I didn't get help. I've seen people stop, hit the pipe. I ain't doing that shit no more. It's too expensive. Or I didn't like the high and just stopped. I'm like, I couldn't do it, bro. I had to get help. And it was, it was a 9-month program. Hard as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she was with House of Uhuru. And anybody that has any kind of recovery experience back in the 80s know about House of Uhuru.
House of Uhuru was no joke. That wasn't no joke.
They
wouldn't even let me in the program. They wouldn't let me in the program. I tried to get in.
You tried to get in the House of Uhuru deliberately?
The guy that was running the program would not let me in that program. He just kept toying with me. So eventually I ended up going to Salvation Army Harbor Light program downtown LA on 5th Street. I checked in to rehab June of 19 after you. 5 years now. So, sober.
I was at Castle East.
Castle East. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I was at.
For
meetings and stuff.
Friday, what was that? Candlelight meet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I was at for 9 long ass months. But it worked, right? Okay. It worked. I came out of there, man, and I haven't, like I said, touched nothing since. No weed, no.
Right. I'm the same way, man. Same way.
No, nothing, man. I just.
Yeah, I give God the glory.
Thank you,
give
sir.
God the glory for that, because I was praying on one knee and smoking on the other. I wanted to stop bad.
God, please help me stop doing this shit, please. After I take this last hit, of course.
It was really sad. I had went in a couple of outpatient meetings I was going to because the court sent me to go to these meetings and stuff and bring the court card back, and I completed that. But that meant nothing, because after every meeting, I'd be in the parking lot smoking on my way home. So it didn't matter, because they wasn't giving me no urine test or nothing.
Yeah.
But this is
but I was thank you, man. Because I was walking down the street homeless. And my sister said, go over to Castle and tell them you know me. So I knock on the door, and they said, we ain't got no beds. Everybody's full, because everybody was trying to get a bed back then, man. So we don't have no beds. And I said, Michelle Taylor's my sister. And they, well, shit, come on, man. We'll make room for you. Come on in. And I got a bed, man. But if my sister was not known at that facility, and Deborah got my sister sober, and my sister got me that bed, I'm not really sure if I'd be here today.
Right.
So so that's Deborah, and Freddie was cool. We used to take his 5-4 to bonfires, and he got me my first job at Tops, the burger stand, little ways up from Lamert Park, across the street from Mavericks Flat. But
right down, right around the curve.
I used to flip burgers there.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah,
I was a low rider, so I know what it is.
Oh yeah, because it's not far. It's not far from the wall. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They had a sister Rose, man. She was beautiful. She died young, but I'm sorry to see that. Then right next door to them was the Stevensons. It was Pogie. It was Concho. Concho, not much, but their brother Jesse. I remember once where I was about to square up with Kenny. And because he said, Kenny Rose looking for you. And I'm like, I ain't lost, right? I said, let's do this, right? So I'm squaring up with him, and he pulls out a knife. Yeah. I'm like, punk ass bitch. So I said, okay, wait here, because I kept the bumper jack in my locker. I said, you wait your ass right here. So I come back, and he's gone. And I go home and I mention that. I said, Jesse, this motherfucker, man, I don't know what his problem is with me. But, you know, pulls out a knife. And Jesse, he's like, fuck that. We rolling over there. Because I knew he's on 104th and 6th or 5th or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think he
like,
said on 4th Avenue.
Yeah. But it was like 4 carloads. So we roll up there. And I'm like, come outside. Let's finish this, right? Come on outside. And it just got to the point where they said, well, we calling the police, right? And so we said, okay, let's just split. So I never did get the tussle with him. But yeah, we had some history. And his sister came up to me a couple of days later in the quad talking about stay the fuck away from my brother. Stay the fuck away from my house or I will fuck you up, right? And I was kind of like, what do I do? Who's this? You know, I never had a female call me out, and I can't hit her. So I'm like, okay. but we never did. I think he's doing life right now. So I never did get closer to him after that or had any problems or anything like that. But anyway, I'm just saying Jesse was cool when it came down for the Atkinson boys to go into action. There he was. So then I'm gonna, okay, like I said, Pogie. One day I had somebody did something to my brother Steven. I forget the boy's name. But I said, okay, if I see him, I'm gonna fuck him up. Right? So he checked in the morning side and I saw him over there talking to a couple of girls. And so I said, hey man, come around here. I want to talk to you. And I was trying to keep it on the down low, right? Because I wanted to fuck him up, but I didn't want to get caught. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do something to this boy. I'm gonna try to do it when nobody saw me do it. Does that make sense? I was very careful with shit like that. So then, he's walking with me. I'm trying to, look around. Everything's cool. So he takes off running. I had another blackout. That's when I had the second blackout where I don't remember what I did. But they say I ran after him and tackled his ass and got on him and was just wailing on his ass. And somebody was on my back with a cake cutter, just like that on my back, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and what they said, well, Pogie picked him up by the scruff of his neck and then boom, fucked up his teeth. But it came so the rent-a-cops was pulling me off this dude, right? And I'm like, I could see, right? Because it's telling me this shit that I did not remember. So that's the 2 times I blacked out. It's kind of weird. Maybe I should talk to a professional about it. But it ain't happened since. But it was some of the most.
As long as you keep your temper under control, you're all right.
Yeah, that's why I don't say or do much. Because when I get angry, I get caught. You know what I'm saying? So I'll do something in front of somebody. Anyway, let's just leave that alone.
Yeah.
So the embarrassment came from I had to meet with the VP and my mom and this other guy and his parents. So I'm walking through the quad with my mother going like this, right? Because I'm like, oh, him got to come to school with my mom. Poor baby. I'm like, these people. My mom's had to come to school, man. I did. It wasn't that bad. I was probably making more out of it than what it really was. But Pogie did do something to me. I still haven't forgiven him. Back in the day, remember they had the PCP that you would sprinkle onto mint leaves?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It was before the Dookie stick. So me and Poggy went to cop
Yeah,
up
that was
in
the
East
aim.
LA. Yeah, Angel does. So me and Poggy went to cop, and it was from one of his girlfriends. And so, yeah, he's going to go in here and, you know, bang his girlfriend. And so there's a big old, fat, nasty, ugly Mexican girl named Lita, right? And she's like doing her eyebrows up and down and, you know, like that. And I just went ahead and I'm like, okay, right? So that was back when I was at an age, if you had a functioning vagina, it's on, right?
It worked. If it worked, it worked.
Right. If it were, I'm going for it. So we were leaving. I said, Pope, swear to me, you will never tell anybody that this happened. Swear. You go, Stan, I swear to you, I will never tell anybody what you did this evening. The next goddamn day, he was standing on his front lawn. He said, Stan, tell him about Lita, man. What about Lita? I'm like, you mother backstabbing son of a bitch, right? So I don't forgive you, Poggy. No. So next house is Tyrone. We call him Tybone, right? So he had a sister, Mildred, brother Ricky. He was loonier than the tune. I think the Marine Corps messed him up. But he had a sister, Mildred, worked at Winchell's, and I think she knew what we were doing. We would send her out back, and we'd put our knee up on the counter and reach over, get a cinnamon roll, a chocolate bar. Damn near every day, man, we was stealing donuts. She knew what the hell we was doing. She wanted plausible deniability. Well, I didn't see him do it. You know, she knew damn well what we was doing. Yeah. Thank you, Mildred. I was always so hungry. And Tybone, when Tybone was a teenager, you look at Tybone today, right? Mellow, he's like, you know, just cool and just calm and mellow. You look at Tybone when we were teenagers, that boy had a short ass fuse, and he wanted to get swole up and fight everybody, right? We would play touch, you know, touch in the street, and they'd hack the ball, right? And it said, no, you know, Tyrone was offsides, right? And he go, fuck you, I wasn't no god. No, he just want to fight, man. And I'm like, dude, I ain't gonna fight you behind that fuck it. You weren't offsides, okay? You just listen, replay it down. But he used to get so angry. He was an angry young man, and with a short ass fuse. And now he's one of the most mellow human beings I know. Everything is like, you know, water off a duck. He's like,
yeah,
that's just the way he is.
Yeah.
But it's kind of odd the way it did a 180 from a teenager to an adult. So
right.
Next family over was the Johnson family. I already told you about Sharon. She was an activist. I think she may have formed the Black Student Union at Morningside. Yeah, they had this fine ass sister named Alana. Oh my gosh, she was funny. And then they had Buster. I had no clue why. Then they had a really older brother named Lewis. Now, one day, Lewis gave me and OD some weed, and we smoked it, and I just fucking started hallucinating. I think he mentioned it was dipped in hash oil or something like that. But I'm like, and from that very day, I never smoked weed again. I was seeing shit, man. I'm like, what? It was like that, man. I couldn't do it. Or I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will never smoke another joint. Shit scared me away. So then I guess the last house down would be Bad Luck Chuck, who don't give a fuck, right? Let me tell you about the don't give a fuck part of his nickname. Me and Chucky was walking home from school down 108th, and you already mentioned the names. So here come the other way. Here come Michael Christian and two brothers. I'm not, one of them paralyzed right now. I ain't gonna say their names, man. But anyway, one of them's paralyzed, and two other dudes. It was 6 of them. And in my mind, it was like, okay, you get ready to run, right, and just run as fast as you can. Like I said, it was 6 of them and 2 of us. So Chucky goes up to Michael Christian and says, Michael Christian had on a gray on gray Dutch leather Dutch boy. Chucky goes, unasked the hat. And he said, nah, I ain't unasked shit, right? So Chucky pulls out a gun.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And he goes, Stan, hold this. And I'm like, what the fuck? He said, hold this, Stan. And so I'm standing there with a gun in my hand, and Chucky taking off his coat, right? Puts it on the grass and starts fucking Michael up, man. He's like, boom, boom. He's just beating the boy. So he had Michael on the ground going like this, right? And Chucky was like, what's my name? He said, I don't know. He said, my name is Charles, motherfucker. Boom, boom, Charles, say it. Like, Muhammad Ali with
right.
Yeah, he was doing that. And so they get done. Chucky takes the hat, puts it on. They go the other way. And I'm like, Chucky, you know what set they are from, right? And he go, yeah. And I say, you know they coming. And he said, I don't give a fuck. Let them come. I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. So that is the only person or the time I knew that started some shit, because they could have just, if they had stopped and challenged us in some sort of way, I would say, yeah, pull the rascal out and get us out of trouble.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was strapped, man. I mean, and I'm standing there with my mouth open holding a gun. Oh man, but yeah, so
Chucky can fight, man. He can really fight. He beat up Kenny Robinson and Leon at a party one night.
Oh my goodness!
Birthday party on 102nd, and
okay,
how the street, like 8th Avenue curves.
Yeah,
go down to 2nd Avenue.
Yeah, he could fight.
A girl had a birthday party over there, and he came out there and he was talking to me for a minute. I was so drunk, I had drank almost a whole 5th of Silver Satin by myself.
Oh Lord!
And so I was tore up from the floor up. Almost fell in the empty swimming pool, and this guy girl caught me.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was lucky. Yeah, so me and Daryl, not Daryl, but Chucky, we used to go chess in his backyard. I don't know if you know, maybe some folks that don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, but me and Chucky used to stand there and just
I know what that is. Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, we would go chess.
Yeah.
And I don't know why my sternum didn't crack and a bone went into my heart. I never won, right? But I'm like, okay. So we take a couple squigs and some bitter dog and some bitter lemon rather, and smoke a cigarette. It's okay, let's go again, right? I get home, take off my shirt, but there's one ginormous bruise, right? Okay, so let me tell you the bad luck part. We was on Sunset at Tower Records stealing. I had on an army coat, full length. And so we was stealing. I had like 8 tracks in each pocket, right? And we was walking down the street, and we got jammed up by LAPD. And so they're like, spread them and, search this and shit. And they're like asking me, did you buy these? And I'm like, yes. And he goes, well, where'd you get the money? And I had a pay stub from Tops. Just so happened it was in my pocket. So I pulled out the pay stub. I said, yeah, I just got. He said, so you spent your whole check on 8-track tapes? And I'm like, yep. And, so So they looked at Chucky. He didn't steal shit. He didn't do anything, right? But I guess in their mind, it says somebody going to jail tonight, right? I can't give the DA 6 bunk cases, right? We have no proof, and everybody's got. But we're taking. It was just bad luck. We're taking him to jail, right? What they said was he matched the description of a bank robber. They said the bank robber had on some 501 jeans and a white T-shirt.
Oh, come
and
on.
I'm like,
That's just the whole city.
African American with 501 jeans and a white T-shirt.
Yeah, come on.
And they could have picked out 6, 8, 9 people walking up and down Sunset Boulevard, but it was Chucky's bad luck where they picked him. So it was just bad luck, Chuck, that didn't give a fuck. Yeah, man, I used to go down. He had a sister named Gloria who was just, oh my gosh, she could make the centerfold of Jet magazine, man. She was everything. And she wore these hot pants and Afro puffs and a lip gloss. And I'm like, damn. But, you know, I knew better than to say anything to her. Way out of my
you don't want to go in the head with Chucky.
No, that
boy can fight, man. Fight.
Yeah, I know.
Fight. He can really go.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so I think that little incident with those brothers and Michael led to this incident at a party that EB gave. So EB gave a party. It was a quarter party. And EB goes, well, you know, if you see this person, don't let them in, right? And the guy at the door says, okay. So these 2 brothers show up, and he wouldn't let them in. And so they left, and they came back with Raymond Washington and about 20 other folks. So dude at the door looks, you know, saw his hands coming out the walk, and he runs away. He just got boned out. So my radar wasn't up, because typically my radar's up looking for trouble. But my radar was focused on this girl, because I just told a DJ to put on a slow jam. So I'm gonna get next to this girl when the slow jam come on and say, what is that? You know, like that. I'm boom, right there. So because I wanted to grind on this girl. So so my spidey sense didn't tingle at all, because they didn't trickle in. They just came in like boom, en masse, right? Just like that, and went straight to the DJ and pulled the power cord to the music. And then just all hell broke loose, right? It was, out of the corner of my eye, I saw Raymond just go boom, 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 one dude to the next. Next thing I know, I'm on the floor, right? He socked me in the jaw, chipped my damn molar and shit, just messed up my tooth. And a little side story to that, when I was on the floor trying to focus, I look up and I see this girl trying to climb out the window. And I saw these white panties. And everything else just went out the door, man. I'm just staring at these panties, man. I'm like the whitest panties I've ever seen in my life. And what snapped me back to reality was I heard that's when it started the guns out front. I'm looking up at these. She's trying to climb out the window, and I'm looking up her dress. And so that snapped me out of it, right? I'm like, yeah, you need to get your ass out of here. But I believe that because of them knowing kind of who we were, and those 2 brothers came up and kind of probably saw me, because I was standing there with Chucky with a gun with my mouth hanging open.
Yeah, they were scouts, man. They were scouting. That's what they was doing. They came over there specifically to see how many people was at.
That they would need to
party. The guys were just sitting back waiting. The other guys were sitting back waiting.
Oh shit! I didn't know that went on. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh yeah.
basically, that's my take on Atkinson, man. It was again a place where everybody was welcome, and if you wanted trouble, we had that for you too.
Oh man, that's a wonderful story, man. You know,
Yeah, yeah. So it's a
I
coming of age story, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, but
True.
you said
You know, you hit it right on the head.
yeah, but you've shed some light on some things I did not know. You know, I didn't know the MO for, you know, turning out a party.
Yeah.
You know, you go scout it out first. So how many people do we need? Do we have enough people?
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that was a thing, man. But that wasn't my mentality, man. I was going to parties to. I'm sorry. Say again. Bait.
Those people were bait. In other words, if you chase those two guys, I guarantee those other guys were waiting around the corner waiting for you to do a general custer on you.
I'll be goddamn.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's the banger mentality. My mentality was just girls, man. Just
yeah.
Just getting high and getting girls. There's some ancillary stuff to Atkinson. For example, Poggy and them had some friends on Colden, and we used to intermingle with them, right? They come over to our spot, we'd go over to theirs. And that was a good thing for me, because when I went on that side of town and somebody goes, where you from, man? I'm like, oh man, I'm just here to see Bino and them over on Colden. They said, oh, okay, you know, cool, you know. So they knew I wasn't there to cause trouble. And the Broussards, they came from 41st Street, so we called them 41st Street boys. And I had a ton of fun over there, man. I think one of the highlights was we had dropped some window pane, and we got up on Ruben's roof, Ruben Gomez, to watch the sun come up. I'm like, damn, that I will never forget. And we were watching. I was watching the sunrise on LSD. Yeah, and once we went up, you know, Griffith Park Observatory has a little dirt trail that comes up from the base of the mountain, and we would go up that trail at night. It was cool, man. I mean, it was some of the most fun. It had this dude named Joe, right? I would make little sounds like a bear. I would be like, "Mr. Joe, what was that?" And he goes, "Stan, stop fucking around, man." I said, "No, man, that wasn't me, man." Scared the shit out that boy.
Oh man, I had some good days at Griff, man, up at Griffith Park on Sunday.
Yeah,
with the bongos and the congos and back in the day.
Yeah, the Twins used to do that up at Centinela.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, it got all messed up with this shooting shit, man. I don't know where that came from. You got any theories?
Man, you know what? Basically, it's the people that were supposed to be stopping all this stuff really didn't even try. I'm talking about the police. They didn't even try.
They probably encouraged it.
They didn't try to stop the gang banging.
Oh, no.
Like they put a stop to but they didn't try to stop the black youth from doing what they was doing. And in fact, they helped escalate it a lot of times from stories that I was told, by using the young cadets that looked like they were young, like teenagers, and send them in a neighborhood with a certain color on to do something. And then, you know, let's say they took somebody to jail and he's a guy from another neighborhood. They would take his car, put these rookie cops in it. They go over and shoot at somebody's house. And then the people would see this guy's car. Then they let him go and give him his car back. Now they're shooting at him.
Okay.
That's the kind of stuff that LAPD was doing.
Oh man, I was totally unaware of that. But I think what was going through my mind.
they had young rookies. Yeah, they had rookies at Crenshaw High School posing as students that were buying drugs from the selling drugs at school. That's one of those cases got thrown out because they said no, it was entrapment. It was entrapment of teenagers, and they got every case thrown out.
Damn, let's start talking about some 21 Jump Street type of shit. But yeah, but was in my mind.
Exactly.
But babe, and it used to make me, when I became a senior and stuff, it used to make me so sad, man, that how come we just can't just pug and one of us is embarrassed, but both of us is alive? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got my ass.
That's how it started. That's how it started.
Yeah, I mean,
you got the cowards. You had those cowards.
That's what I'm saying. People that can't get them up needed a gun. I'm saying, well, fuck it, man. Just keep your ass on the front porch then, if you can't punk, right? Yeah. But you know what? Thought just occurred to me that Atkinson actually came off of Atkinson. It continued. My point being, when I joined the military, I went in with the buddy system, me, Ed, and Tony. So we get to Fort Ord, and I'm in the, where you get your uniforms and all that. What they take all your stuff, mail it back home, and I'm taking a dump. Right, I look over here and I see Crips on the wall. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Chitty chitty bang bang, ain't nothing but a crippin' thing here. I'm like, what? And so that just told me that me, Tony, and Ed had to have each other's back. And one day, Tony come running up. Hey, guess who I just saw? I'm like, who? I said, Doc. I get the fuck out of here. I said, Doc's at Fort Ord? And he goes, yeah, he's up there at the PX. So we hustled up there. I'm like, dude, bear hug and all that stuff. Yeah. And all four of us went to Fort Gordon, where I got stanky, fall down drunk. I saw this movie called The Exorcist.
Okay.
So a stanky, fall down drunk, coming to the barracks, and this the fire watch at each end of the hall. I go up to the fire watch, and I'm like, trying to get the voice for the demon. Your mother sucks cocks in hell, like that, right? So dude just go boom. Like I was down, and I think I woke up like 2 a.m. My eye this big, head is pounding. Dude fucked me up, man. And but we were at formation, and like Private Taylor, you need to go to sick call. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I can make it. So afterwards, Ed and Tony come up, and man, we gonna fuck that motherfucker up, man. You're Atkinson. He can't do that. I'm like, no. I brought all this shit on myself. Let it go, man. I shouldn't have been talking about that boy's mama. What if somebody would have came up to you and said some shit like that? What you gonna do? Yeah, she does suck cock, right? No, you're gonna fire on his ass, right?
Yeah.
So we let that go, but Atkinson still goes on. We get together very rarely, though. That's why this Morningside thing was a blessing, because we don't see each other no more, man. A year tops.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got a chance to get there this time, and when I was there for maybe about 20 minutes, and then when I saw you, I guess it was you and your wife, and you guys were packing stuff up.
Yeah, we was packing up.
I didn't get a chance to holler at you.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
But with on the short clip I saw, you said, well, name some people that live there. And nobody did. I'm like, wait a minute. How can you not know one single name of a person that lived on Atkinson Avenue? That didn't sit well. That's why I wanted to talk to you. And I wanted to say names, right? And maybe give a little bit of story on their background and what they meant, to the tribe, right? So
all right. Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to do that.
Man, I feel, I get with some things that it's always different. But see, the perspective that you had is different because you were one of the original people on the block in the first place.
Yeah,
So
and
you had, I mean, I used to come over there and hang out with Steve because we was in the same car club together, and even before the car club, when we was still walking, I would come over on Atkinson and hang out for a few,
yeah,
and because I was always in hunting, and I was always hunting for girls, man. So I would walk up to Atkinson, I from IVC, from the Inglewood, from the
yeah,
Imperial Village area
right,
too.
yeah.
So, so it's like, yeah, okay. So that's how that worked. But at the same time, it's not an alley or a street that I don't know when it comes to Inglewood. I was
Huh.
going down every block, man. Every block.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah,
fun. We had fun in the day. We
yeah,
did
yeah.
have a lot of
That's and you know what, man? It's come full circle, right? You have fun, you get your family, you get your career. Now it's time to have fun. That's all I want to hear about, man. There's different kinds of fun. I don't get hot, and I don't try to tap every girl I meet. Um, but it's morphed into concerts and plays and movies and restaurants and shit like that now, which to me is hella fun. And I got a
yeah,
couple hobbies that I do, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not about getting high, and it's not about work, and it's not, well, hopefully it don't become about kids. At this point in time, ain't nobody in my pocket, but they're I got them up and out okay.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like a winner, man. Your
yeah,
whole
man,
story, man, your story has been really refreshing
yeah,
and enlightening as far as
and
giving the
and
roll
it,
call of the pot.
right. I saw it as also being inclusive,
Hmm. Yeah.
because
Without it,
there's a lot of people that came on the block that I did not mention, but they didn't live there,
right,
you
right.
know.
Exactly. Yeah.
They did contribute to the culture and to the tribe, but they didn't have an address on
Hmm.
Atkinson Avenue,
Yeah.
right?
Wow. Atkinson,
Yeah,
man, a lot of people will be learning about Atkinson now with these videos that
well,
I'm doing. Atkinson existed, as far as like the history of Atkinson. So
right.
that's what the story is all about. It's all about the history, because I always thought it was a cool spot for me personally
Right. You
when I would go out. Yeah,
right. You felt comfortable,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you didn't, like I said, like sometimes you go to school and feel judged, but that ain't gonna happen on Atkinson, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's cool, right?
Yeah.
Just stop asking me for cigarettes. I
Have
gave
something
you
on the
3.
wine. Have something on the wine next
Yeah, man, you ain't got a quarter, try to get some of this Mad Dog,
time.
right?
Hey, got 5 on it. Got to put something on
Yeah, unless I stole it. But if I didn't steal
it.
it, no, you got to put in, man.
Oh man. Let me tell this one story about drinking.
Okay.
They had converted that uh little, what's that, a miniature golf into a boys market up there on Century and Crenshaw. And one Saturday morning, the Schlitz truck was bringing beer
No,
for
you
boys
didn't.
market. All right.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna mention no names, but it was, a couple of the Atkinson boys and came over there and grabbed cases of beer off the truck while the guy was in the store and went running down the street. I'll tell you where they took it to. They took it to Herschel's apartment that was
Mm.
around that curve
Oh,
there. Yeah, the apartment on that around that curve.
okay.
So I said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. You guys got the cases, and we're gonna have a United 6-4s. We're gonna meet up. We're gonna come over.
Oh,
We're gonna all meet up together, and we're gonna drink some beer. We're gonna have a meeting tonight. Tell me why when we get there, tried to drink every last beer And I think about 24 cans of beer in each case, and I believe they had
Yeah.
about maybe 3 or 4 cases. They tried to drink every last beer, and was knocked the fuck out.
Why?
They were knocked out. I mean, knocked out, man. Alcohol poisoning, knocked out on the ground. And it's like, man, what happened, man? What happened? What happened, man?
All that because they didn't want to share? Is that the premise of this?
It was there and it was free, and they opened one up and drank it, opened another one up and drank it, opened up, and they just kept drinking and drinking and drinking.
But you would have to chug one after another.
Pass
right.
out. That's what they did. They passed out, man. It was like probably about two or 3 cans left out of cases of beer.
But
and I'm talking about 3 people.
But you was about to have a meeting so they could share. I thought, isn't that what you said?
Yeah. Right. The car club was gonna come by there, and it was we was all gonna sit around and drink and
have a couple of brews, right?
Yeah, we was gonna have a the car club meeting.
Yes.
And the beer was gonna be the extra cherry on top.
Sure.
When we got there, all the cherries were gone. Oh man, guy, it was something else, man.
Oh my goodness, yeah, it was.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm happy that part is over.
Yeah, without a doubt, man.
It's just some shit that we had to go through. That's all.
Yeah. It's a rite of passage.
A coming of age thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you a drinking story real quick. I was in the military because I never met nobody who didn't drink. And so, we gonna get some Black Cat. It's a raw gut wine. And so dude goes, I don't drink. I said, you don't drink alcohol? And he goes, no. At all? And he goes, no, never did. I'm like, I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch this motherfucker. He's weird, right? I'm gonna keep my eye on him. Right? Something he's off, right? There's something wrong with this boy. He don't drink. He don't get high. He don't do shit.
Mm-hmm.
But he was smart for his age, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. When you live that lifestyle, and that's what I discovered after I stopped drinking. I thought everybody in the world drank.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was normal.
Yeah,
actually,
everybody that I knew drank, personally knew drank or did something. So but when I got outside of that group and that circle, and I went to my first sober picnic, and they used to have
your horizon were like this, right?
Yeah, sober comedy clubs and a lot of sober events that AA used to create these events for sobriety people that was in sobriety. And I'm like, wow, man, there's way more people in the world that don't drink that do, and I go around. So
especially at our age, right? Because there's a lot of folks at our age, they're just done with that. I mean, there's some people that still enjoy a taste now and then, but I don't see the sloppy fall down drunk like I used to.
Yeah. I don't even see people smoking cigarettes. I can't remember the last time I saw a person smoking a cigarette.
Oh yeah, they're still around.
They're still around, but I just can't remember. I can't really pinpoint off the top of my head the last time I saw somebody walking down the street smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something you gotta go through.
Pens, I see them with those vape pens, those vape things, but I don't see somebody sitting there with a cigarette lighter lighting a cigarette. I haven't seen that in a long time.
It was easy for me to put that shit down. I was coughing up blood, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. Because when you're young and shit like that, and I think what it was I didn't have nothing to lose. I used to do some pretty fucked up shit, man. But in my mind was, I didn't have nothing to lose. But when I turned 18, that's when me and Ed sat down, like I said, and came to a point where I couldn't go north and I couldn't go east. Because, I knew people in those areas, and they say, hey, Stan, these guys are talking about, dropping this straight-haired nigga from Inglewood. And I heard that from two different people from two different sides of town. And my world was going like this, right? I said, I can't go north on Crenshaw, and I can't go east on Manchester. And so I can go maybe south or something like that. But so I sat down with Ed. I'm like, man, I got to get out of LA, man. I got to go. And he goes, yeah, I want to leave too. But see, Ed had something going on. He was going to El Camino. He was going to school. I didn't have shit going on, man. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do, right? So let's enlist. Fuck it. So what if they send us to Vietnam? And I'm like, well, at least you could shoot back and not get in no trouble, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we did, man. It was for me personally, it was a good move.
Yeah. I think at the time you joined, Vietnam was winding down.
Yes. I said there's more people coming out than going in. And he goes, well, that could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I just think people tired of that shit, and they're gonna stop it. Yeah. But anyway, brother, wow. I want to thank you again for having me, and hopefully you could shed some light to some folks that don't know from A to Z,
right?
Atkinson Avenue,
right? Yeah,
and
you feel a lot of blanks. You fill in a lot of blanks, and anytime you want to come back, man, just let me know. You never know. You might decide remember something else you want to talk about.
Right, as we talk right now, things are coming to me, but I've already gone over the time that I thought would be appropriate. So
man, we went 3 times past that time, so time really don't matter right now.
Yeah, but man, you get caught up, man. And all these memories come flooding back, and it's gonna take, I think it would take something like a meeting or something, where everybody is live, maybe at the next picnic. We could get a circle of chairs and share some cue and some memories, right?
Well, I have to send you that video because I did interview James Jordan, and I did interview Brian, and I started interviewing John Smith, but for some reason, I didn't get a chance to finish that. But
okay,
I'll send you the link to that video so you can see Nick itself overall. But it's a small segment in there where I interviewed them, and I was asking them about Atkinson.
Okay. Sounds good, man. And again, at the picnic, maybe get some sort of like drum circle, I guess. I don't know how else to put it, and just share memories, right?
Oh yeah.
Hopefully the memories will coincide and not be contradicting.
Yeah. I bring my guitar, man, because I got a battery powered amp. I can bring my guitar with my battery powered amp and be in that musical instrument circle. Yeah.
Okay, brother. I think this was real good. And again, I appreciate your time, and I thank you for allowing me to share.
Thanks, Stan. I appreciate it, and thanks for coming on. It's a Stan the Man, folks. Stan the Man. All right, Stan. You have a good day, man, and enjoy the football games and enjoy all the festivities and football that's coming on today. That's what I'm getting ready to do in a few minutes. Go down here, watch the Red Zone.
Okay. Okay. You stay well, man.
Take care.
All right. Later.
All right. Wow. That was Stan the Man, folks. Stan the Man from Atkinson. And yeah, man, like I said, established 1971, Inglewood, California. All right, folks. It's KP from KP's Video. Try to get my music up, but this particular mic that I'm using won't pick my music up for some reason. I guess it's like a noise canceling mic, and it won't pick up any outside sounds. It only picks up voices, so I can't do my theme song. But anyway, that was Stan the Man from Atkinson, Inglewood, California, talking about the back in the day, man, in the 70s. And we're going to do, don't forget, Tuesday at 3 o'clock, we're going to have another group session at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. All right, 3 o'clock on Tuesday, folks. So tune in, KP's Video News, for part 3. Is that part 3? Yeah, that'll be part 3 of the Atkinson Boys, part 3. Take care.